Daniel Tammet has written a book about struggles, triumphs in his life. It is an amazing new book. It's called Born on a Blue Day, and he joins us now. It's so nice to meet you.
Thank
so
you.
good to have you here.
Thank you.
So we said 10 languages. Can you do Good Morning America and Lithuanian?
Lapis Ritas America.
And French.
Bon matin, Amérique.
And it goes on and on and on. I want to go to the numbers, though, because before we talk a little bit about your daily life, you have described for experts something they've never heard described so vividly before. Numbers for you are colors, they are emotions, they are living things. Is that right?
That's right. When I close my eyes, I go into a place on the far shores of my mind, a second country filled with beauty, and it's numbers that are everywhere, all around me. Every number up to 10,000 has its own color, its own shape, its own texture. 37 is lumpy like oatmeal. 89 is small and soft and delicate like falling snow. Sometimes people remind me of numbers as well. If they're very tall, they remind me of the number 9 because the number 9 is big and dark and blue. And actually, when I'm looking at you now, Diane, you remind me of a number as well. It's
Dare I ask?
32.
32?
32. And if you want, I can draw 32 for you.
Sure.
And show you what I see in my mind.
Sure.
It's actually like lots of bright sparks, shining golden, like specks of dust filled with morning sunlight. It's a beautiful number. When I multiply it in my head, it forms a pattern of like hoops. 32, 1024, 32,768, 1,048,576, 33,554,432.
You're doing it to the powers.
Yes, multiplying the number by itself, time after time after time.
Well, thank you. I'm honored to be sparks and loops.
It's a beautiful number.
It makes me very happy. But it interested me because you said one of the ways you learned to relate to other people was through numbers. And initially with your parents, you could not automatically feel what we think of as automatic emotion of love.
That's right. Love. For people who have autism, even high-functioning autism as I have, emotions are very hard to understand. There's a disconnect. It's kind of like having a fractured soul. And for me, numbers were a way of understanding emotions.
So that you would give someone a number that had a color and an emotion to it, and you could relate to them as that number.
That's right. If I wanted to understand sadness, I would imagine the number 6, which to me is a tiny, dark, cold hole. And I would imagine myself inside that hole, inside the coldness and the darkness of the number 6.
But you know, sitting and talking with you, and you must have this all the time, I mean, people cannot imagine that inside your mind is in fact a kind of acrobatic that you're performing. What is it like when you go to a supermarket? What is it that makes it so hard for you?
It's like being bombarded with information. For most people, the brain filters out a huge amount of information, only keeps what is most important in any given situation. But for me, all of the colors and all of the lights, the heat, the sounds, the textures, it's all going into my head at the same time. There's no filtering process.
And you have written about the loneliness it causes in your life. And by the way, you were born on a Wednesday, which you say is a blue day.
It's a blue day.
It's a blue day.
Every day has a color.
But you've written about the loneliness when you're walking around. Do you often encounter situations where you simply cannot move, where you're paralyzed?
Absolutely. When I was a child, children have a real instinct for knowing when you're different from them. One of the challenges of autism is that you're different, but it's an invisible disability. And the children, they bullied me because I was different. And I would count to myself to try to soothe myself and stay calm. And one of the things I've learned, and one of the things I wrote about in my book, is that I needn't be afraid of being different. When I was a child, if someone had said to me, "We can take all your abilities away and make you normal," I would have said, "Yes, please do that." But now I realize that being different is a gift and a blessing, and everyone, autistic or not, it's a challenge that we all face, to be ourselves, to live out the uniqueness that is each one of us.
And the gift you have given is in the book. It
Thank
is
you.
Born on a Blue Day. into a world that we cannot imagine, most of us. But thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
You liked Rain Man, yes?
I did.
That's what I thought. You can read an excerpt from it, of course, on our website, abcnews.com.